Let's talk about the victims. Victims in this game are very interesting. We have a tier list on the screen right now, which you can see, highlighting 5 victims from left to right. We'll go through the list as we go through this and highlight why victims are good and why some victims are maybe not the best. Maybe not the shittest, not the worst, but not the best. And we'll talk about it as we go. Let's double check our characters. If we look as our character roster right now, get back over there. Perfect. We have Connie. She's more of a speedrunning type of character, opening blocks really quickly. You have Leland, the more aggressive type, stunning killers and wasting their time and being a distraction. Your tanky character that can take multiple hits and pretty much making pain nothing and the surviving that outcome at all costs. You have your more stealth-like character through aspects of using his abilities to actually sense what's around him and gain an understanding of his surroundings. It could be good, could be bad, we'll talk about it. And then we have also Julie, which is your movement-based character. That's how the system is placed with their core abilities. That's what makes them who they are and gives them personality, is their core abilities. And the core ability is this right here. When you click on this, that tree is his core ability. The rest is more perks, and these perks are universal. They are shared between multiple characters and can be used on whatever character you have. And some characters will be able to access all the perks, and other characters won't be able to access it due to the fact that their kit is stronger in certain ways, where those perks that could give them benefits could become busted. So they've been kind of restricted on that aspect. So it allows for some characters to do one thing really well and other characters not to do that thing really well, but still do it good enough. So they become a all-rounder type of class. And they're useful in their own way. So with this all together, you have to now think about how it all comes together in a tier list, because putting them in a tier list is quite hard. And a reason why I'm going to say it's quite hard, they share a lot in their universal traits already. Like, they're built in a way that they share a lot of personality through not their core ability, but their perks. And their base attributes, being the stealth mechanics, whatever it may be. Like, you can increase those attributes and makes your character greater. So they pretty much share something already, and only the core ability is unique. And from that list, I'll go through each character and give my opinion. The first one we should start with is most likely the most interesting one, and also I think the best one in the game, is Ana. She is nuts. She has so much potential right now. It's unbelievable. She counters the current meta, which is Leatherface one-shot meta. This is the only character in the game that can survive a Leatherface one-shot at all costs when her ability is active. So when she activates her ability, she takes no damage instances at all from a target. It's pretty much nullified or down by 70%, to say the least. It still feels like nothing when you get hit multiple characters and that ability is active at the same time. When your ability is not on, you're pretty much open to any kill like all these other survivors. So with her ability, she's S tier. Without her ability, she's obviously less. But her skill tree in the game is quite nice too. It allows her to actually do quite a lot of things for free. Like, if you go to her loadouts, I have made a couple loadouts here with extra drip, what doesn't kill you, grappler, and I have another loader here which has what doesn't kill you, choose flight, and extra drip. You can make builds with this character's kit, play the stats, and find what you like. You make it more well-rounded or more tanky like I have here with movement as well. And then when you go to your skill tree, it looks like this, and you have many options to go from here, go to the left, at the very top, you can go straight up, go from here, go to the right, and get a different type of skill tree when you get more movement overall, and also get some HP back when you go into a grapple event. There's different builds, and the character's builds just work so well of the skill trees. She maybe has the best skill tree in the game, guarding her that ability to be S tier or S rank in this tier list, making her very strong and a very competitive character. In the first couple of days, she wasn't picked at all, and now she's been picked every game, and rightfully so, because she's so strong. So in that case, she deserves that spot in that position at S tier. Then after this, it gets kind of interesting. I would say that one of the characters I main is Leland. I would put him at A tier. In my mind, that seems like the best point for the character to be in, is A tier. It makes sense. He's aggressive. He has a lot of things in his kit to help him out, keep him surviving through engagements, and it's quite interesting. On a 1v1 situation, he's very good. When it comes down to 1v2 or 1v3, it now comes down to the player's mechanics and understanding of the map and how to put that all together in order to survive. But just against one killer, this character will always win, this victim. At all chances, he will always win. So at that point, I put him at A because of that one reasoning. And with his character's kit over here, I can show you it. With Leland, he has the bash ability, which has some crazy benefits, and usually just reducing the timer on the ability will make you spam the ability much more often. Then his aggressiveness through his kit is really nice. His base strength is always high up, so you can actually play into a full grapple build or just a more backstabbing build. So anytime you backstab a target, the actual duration of being in that backstab duration is increased. So they actually are stunned for longer. So it's really great for those type of builds, and you can increase your toughness to make yourself more tankier, so it ends up being as squishy as other characters in the game. So it feels like a really fun character to utilize. And I put it at 8 rank. Because in my mind, it seems like the best opportunity for the character is to be placed at 8. And it can move around, but that seems to be the best part about the character, is putting it at 8 rank. Then from here, it gets kind of interesting. Because there's a lot going over here. I might start from a different position. Instead of going up and down, I'm going from the bottom, and then we'll go up top. And that is Sunny. Sunny is very, very questionable. Very, very. I think I'll put him as C. He has a couple of good builds in the game. And even then, are they the most dramatic builds that will win you games? Not really. Then it comes down to his core ability. His core ability is able to sense sound. And through that ability, it's kind of interesting what it can do. But it's not interesting enough. And the reason why is that, as you can see through his main ability here, it goes to increase range. It's like, that's maybe the most important part, to have increased range. And then maybe all-knowing, so then you can actually tell when people are moving. Like, who's moving? Is it a teammate or is it an enemy? But even then, does it really matter? Like, just having the basic understanding of seeing sound at level 1, it's just decent enough, and it's never that great. And anytime you're using this ability, you're pretty much usually playing slower, which means you're lingering the game for longer, where your teammates are bleeding out, dying, or things could go wrong. But also, this could give you the opportunity to maybe be safe for one encounter, but somehow you're in a wrong position as you're using this ability, and the sound indicator is approaching you from using it, and then you get killed. Bad luck, because the character is naturally very squishy. Not that squishy. He has no HP. So, it's very easy to kill. He can't tank hits. He can't do anything. He just dies. Even upgrading the stat on this character doesn't feel great compared to his other stats in the game. So, he's in a very interesting position because of his skill tree being so shit too. Like, there's not many good positions to go with his skill tree that feel rewarding. There's a stealth build in some aspect, and even all reading, but all reading doesn't help as much out in the game for yourself through XP or your team members. You know, it's just like a all-right type of build. Not that great, not that crazy. So sadly, can't do too much about that. So Sunny deserves that spot at the C rank, and I can't see it changing at all. So he's just stuck there, and it's just unfortunate. So Sunny's at C, Leland's at A, Anna's at S, and now we go to these two other characters. This may be a hot take. Maybe. I don't like Connie. I really think she's a bad character because she's overhyped and overused. But when you have a good Connie, the game's so much easier. So much simpler. That everything just moves so fast. So I'm going to give her A rank. Having this character up, and she doesn't get detected by the enemy killers early game, and she survives, means the game is going to be drastically easier for everybody. And she could even be up here with certain builds. Or even above Leland to a certain degree. Because I think Leland could go down as well. Like, it could be something like this. But due to her nature of being squishy and being easily killed character, like, usually everyone's aiming this character. At all costs, everyone's aiming this character. If you see her, you aim her, you win the game as family. So she's in this position. So I'm going to leave it at A for that aspect. But we look at her kit. She has a couple options as well. I believe she has a lot of endurance capabilities too. Because naturally her attributes are based on proficiency and stealth. But you can actually increase her endurance as well to make her more well-rounded. And she has some great endurance perks like Choose Flight. And some of the things can help her to hopefully not die as much in engagements. Because her toughness is very low, as Sunny. But not as low as Sunny. Sunny has the lowest toughness in the game, which I didn't expect. But that is the case. But this character here has a bit more. And she can sustain a little bit more, but nothing too crazy. So usually you want to have more endurance perks to help you out through the attributes like Choose Flight and such. And that'll help you out, move around quicker, and get around the map in safe locations. And then you also have perks like Efficiency Locksmith and even Lucky Lockpicker, which will help you actually go towards the door, use your lock tool, and keep that charge on your lock tool and use it again for another door in the near future. So you're able to get out of the map even quicker. Those builds just help with speedrunning. And then you have a lot of counter builds here too, with Bomb Squad. You can also go a bit aggressive if you wanted to, get some more healing perks aspects out of your kit as well. There's a lot of interesting builds here. Nothing too viable, but I think there's like 2 good viable builds here at all times for this character that you can have. And have it as multiple loadouts too. So, Connie is a great character for that aspect. Speedrunning, getting past through missions. She's really good at it. Do I feel like the character is able to do things too quickly? Yes. But if you kill her, the game is now drastically slower. So, she feels like somewhat balanced. It's like one of those high-risk type of characters. And usually, high risk, high reward. But in this case, sometimes it's low risk, high reward, depending on how you play. The majority of cases, if I'm playing against this character, I usually kill it. I don't let them survive because I know the game's going to end if a Connie play is still existing in the lobby. Just the way the game is. It's been built like that. It's been done like that. And I feel like it won't change in any capacity. So that's why she's at the A rank. And then now Julie. And as you see, that B rank looking pretty good. Julie goes there. Julie is a interesting character. She has the potential to outrun. And outrunning is great. Don't get me wrong. It's good to keep running. There's going to come to a point we need to do something that feels impactful, because you could get chased pretty much the entirety of the game. And you can run around and makes things happen to a certain degree. And it's really fun. And her kit helps her out for that. This could be the hot take of the video, honestly. Because I feel like she does go up depending on how you play it. So I want to double check it right now with mates. So we're doing this on the live stream too. With Julie, if you see her stats are really nice. Like endurance and stealth, naturally being high, is very good for a character. Because after it, all you need to do is put points in proficiency, and now this character is really good. Because her strength, if it's not your worry, she's actually got great base stats. You know, toughness at 25 is halfway point. Pretty good. Endurance above halfway point. Stealth at above halfway point. And proficiency, put points to that. Maybe put points into your toughness and make it well-rounded. Staff strength, don't bother with strength on this character at all. And now you got this agile queen that goes around the whole bloody map. So you can enjoy that. You know, it's really good. And her ultimate escape ability, if you upgrade it in certain ways, you can actually decrease the sprint stamina and increase the duration while utilizing it, or make it more faster in recovery. There's certainly nothing else unique here except those 3 stats, because sometimes character trees have something unique that you can actually bounce between level 2 into level 3, and it's usually much more interesting to do that. But this is just the same vertically on all things, which makes it kind of boring. But her skill trees, she has a lot of things going for her. Like, I've seen so many builds come out of this character, which is just fun and interesting. But it does feel like some of the best perks in the game are like all over the place in this character. Like, if you go for the middle tree here, you get Final Flight, which is alright, because it's based on close encounters more than anything. Choose Flight, which is god tier. Then you have to go for maybe Cover Charge, if you're playing a hiding spot build. And you go up here maybe, and go for Slippery as well. But then you lose Conditioned. So if you go from there to Slippery, then you have to choose perk here. And there's nothing really good here. So Grandpa Ping, and then choose Fight. So you're hoping for a random perk to come up here that's actually going to make your kit come together. You know? It's a very interesting one. There's also other sides here that can go for, well, it doesn't kill you and such. But even then, still too interesting. And since Jump Scare and all those perks don't really stack well on characters, because it's only, I think, one use per Bone Shrine, it doesn't work that well here. But I think that's her best skill tree is going from here, around here somewhere. In the middle skill tree. It seems to be really good. But that will be my actual tier list. And my thoughts about this. I think she's like the best character by far. Leland could even be here in some instance. Because technically Leland's more of a distraction, and it's depending on your playstyle more than anything. So it could be like this. If you want someone to be able to complete missions even quicker. And I don't want to have my personal bias, because my gameplay with this character is maybe like here. But sometimes players, they don't know how to play the character properly, and they go for just stuns and waste their ability instantaneously. Now they're like here, you know? And Connie would be a better, more effective output. Honestly, Leland would be over here then, and Julie would be up here. Be able to use your abilities correctly, you know? But I think this is a good indication of what I think is actually kind of good. I'm actually going to go for this. Yeah, Anna S, A tier Connie. Even though I don't like the character, I know why she's good, and why she is able to complete missions really quickly, and completing the mission is what is the most important part. Be able to complete it, you get out. So I'll put her A. Leland's A as well. B tier is going to be Julie. C is Sunny. I think C is definitive. I think this part here gets a bit hot take-like, a bit around here. But I think Anna is the strongest, by far. Like, no doubt whatsoever. So that is my tier list on Victims. If you mates did enjoy that, please tell me in the chat. What do you think about it? I'd love to know. Good, bad, valid strat, valid tier list, what it may be. I'd love to know in the chat right now.